Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic wherever you are in the world. Well, on YouTube these days, or should I say the past 2 days, it seems to be a story that I cannot escape. And that is a lawsuit that Gypsy Rose has filed against Fancy Macelli, aka the Good Wives Network. But the reason I will be talking about this is not because of the lawsuit, but because Without a Crystal Ball seems to have risen to the top of the totem pole. And by the way, I did watch the first episode of Gypsy's new, as Katie Joy calls it, reality show. It definitely will not be doing Gypsy any good in my opinion. So let's get into this video. But before that, my usual disclaimer. Please do not take what I say as fact. Feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Without a Crystal Ball made a video today. A little bit of a side note. I see she's off camera again. Is she afraid for her life again? Because she has been non-stop posting about her docuseries. Yes, I said her docuseries on Netflix. And I say that because she was the one that posted this. Exclusive behind the scenes. My Netflix series dominates, but the fight for justice is far from over. My Netflix series, Katie Joy? So, did you fund this, Katie Joy? Asking for a friend. Anyways, like I said, she made a video discussing the lawsuit by Gypsy Rose against Fancy Macelli. I find it hilarious, ironic, and hypocritical. Since Gypsy has been released, Katie Joy has been going after Fancy Macelli hard. I mean, from doxing her to just being plain mean. Because, number one, she wanted to be the go-to for the Blanchard family, as it seems. And it's no secret how messy Kristy Blanchard is. She has been using YouTubers to put things out that she needs to be put out in regard to Gypsy in a positive light. And Without a Crystal Ball is one of them. Without a Crystal Ball, as I said, has gone after Fancy Macelli numerous times. And I think it's hilarious that she is reporting on this lawsuit because not so long ago, probably even 2 weeks ago, maybe over 2 weeks, she threw a tantrum because Gypsy and Kristy kept her in the dark about meeting with Kim Kardashian. She denounced Gypsy and her family because she felt that they're in this for the fame and money. She called Gypsy a murderer, stating that Gypsy is profiting off her crimes, how Gypsy is bypassing laws to profit off her crime, and that she is not advocating. And the list goes on, and I'll leave a video to that in the description. You can pause to read all this because you see this part where she states, I'm talking about Katie Joy, and I quote, setting up trust funds to bypass laws regarding profiting off a crime is wrong, end quote. Maybe there is some truth to that because I will leave a link to another creator who talks about how she was given information by a family member about the finances and how they allegedly do hide money. So that's a very interesting video. And this creator also talks about how close she was with Kristy Blanchard, and she feels that she was only used to get positive information out about Gypsy Rose. I say believe Without a Crystal Ball with this post that she made about Gypsy Rose. Because Without a Crystal Ball is mad and goes after you, and she feels that you have stabbed her in the back, she will reveal secrets. Ask Amy King. If you know, you know. If you want to know, I do have a video about that too. Anyway, she made this post. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, along with her father, stepmother, and sister, are suing, in quotations, producer April Johns, aka Fancy Macelli, for fraud, breach of contract, false light, unjust enrichment, and defamation in Missouri. According to the lawsuit filed in Missouri court, the family alleges that April Johns falsely represented herself as a film producer and signed the family into a lifetime contract. The suit alleges that as part of the contract, the family provided confidential medical records, police reports, photos, videos, and court transcripts to aid in the production of the documentary. However, after 2 years of working together, the family claims that April was unable to produce any content and failed to secure a network for any said documentary. And keep in mind those words, secured a network, okay? The family later found out that April Johns had misrepresented her work history and experience, and she had never worked as a producer. When the family terminated their working relationship with April, the lawsuit alleges that April went on a 5-year smear campaign to malign, attack, misrepresent, harass, defame, and has released private/protected medical records to the public behind paid platform paywalls. The medical records were not part of Gypsy's criminal trial and never public record. The lawsuit alleges that Johns has used the record to try to spin a false narrative that Gypsy Blanchard was not a victim of medical abuse and accused an 11-year-old Gypsy of taking part in crimes with her mum. The lawsuit alleges that April Jones has repeatedly threatened to bury Gypsy, seek to put her back in prison, and accuse the family of lies and deception, all because she was angry the family fired her. The suit seeks a temporary restraining order to bar April from her continued harassment, dissemination of private medical records, and seeks to block her from speaking about the case and posing as an expert or producer related to Gypsy Blanchard's story or case. So April Johns responded by going on a 3-hour live where she continued to threaten to bury Gypsy, accused Gypsy's attorney of committing crimes, and accused her parole officer of being in Gypsy's pocket. She denied everything while seemingly admitted it all. Why is Without a Crystal Ball going so hard for Gypsy Rose and feels that she needs to defend her to the point of making a real victim of Munchausen syndrome by proxy feel that she was never bullied by Gypsy Rose and gaslit the hell out of her, stating that Gypsy was inspired by her story, and that person was Kate Marie. And I'll do a separate video in regard to her gaslighting Kate Marie. And also, Katie Joy was in the DMs of one of the biggest critics of Gypsy when she denounced Gypsy, telling people that Flawless Nina reports false information, to now here she is dragging Fancy Macelli, who was once a spokesperson for the Blanchard family, allegedly, and I have not done all my research into this lawsuit brought against Fancy because there is a long history and there is so much. And Katie Joy herself was not on Gypsy's side. Only when she became acquainted with Kristy did she become good friends with the Blanchards and has been for 5 years, according to Katie Joy. Now, this is all alleged. Let me just say this is a theory. I mentioned how Katie Joy threw a tantrum after she was made aware that Gypsy met up with Kim K. She denounced Gypsy again the very next morning. And within hours, she posted how she had a nearly 3-hour phone conversation with Gypsy and all was well again. Well, why would you think that would happen? Why would Gypsy make a video stating how she is stepping away from social media but really couldn't because she had obligations with Lifetime and continued making postings, and Katie Joy made it very known that she dislikes the executive producer that was right there next to Gypsy at all times during her press tour, during her interviews, and that person was Melissa Moore. I heard a clip that was released by Nina of when Katie Joy was having a conversation with Kate Marie, and Katie Joy said that the Lifetime series of Gypsies is a reality show and not a documentary.
You are correct. And I think because she is so comfortable seeking attention and she grew up with a mom that taught her to seek attention, this is what she knows how to do. She doesn't know how to do anything else. And because she's not really getting therapy or doing extensive therapy, like this girl needs intense therapy, not once a week therapy. But because she is so focused on the money side of things and they've really hyped her up to believe she can make millions. I'm not lying when I tell you that they have an agenda. I mean, hell, Lifetime wanted her to get pregnant for a storyline. It's so gross. I was so disappointed when I found out that they were doing a documentary, this reality show. By the way, it's not a documentary. This is reality TV.
Now, let me give you context about those voice recordings. When Katie Joy denounced Gypsy, this young lady, Kate Marie, who is a victim, a real victim of Munchausen syndrome by proxy, she thanked Katie Joy for denouncing Gypsy, and they got in contact with each other. And all Katie Joy did, to me, felt like she was releasing her feelings of disappointment. And as I said, gaslit this young lady because she defended Gypsy and Kristy throughout their correspondence, as if she was betrayed by Gypsy and Kristy. As I said, I will do a whole separate video about this because this is when this young lady felt defeated and left the platform. But she is back now. Could it be possible that Katie Joy has promised the Blanchard family that she would get them a deal to do a documentary. Since she has all these contacts and she was working on a docuseries, and she even made a post, as you saw, when she made a post and said, my. But then she also went on and made a post on her Facebook that read like this. When a friend asks me to help them get their story out, I do my best to help. Now, it's no secret KJ doesn't have friends. And when she does get one, or it is someone that can get her clout, she screams it from the rooftops. Like with her now BFF Kristy, she made Kristy give a statement confirming that she and Katie Joy are friends. Not me pitching a new docuseries to two separate production companies. Oh yes, that's exactly what I did today. A story that needs exposure. The real story. They said they were super interested. Now, as I said to you guys, keep in mind when she says April was unable to produce any content and failed to secure a network for any said documentary. Words with Katie Joy is very important when she's reporting stuff. So, unfortunately, she's saying that April did not secure a network. And we all know how she's bragging about this docuseries, how she could not have done the docuseries without Wilma Valderrama's production company. She even mentioned how she was there with Jessica, the executive producer, when the docuseries was being pitched to Netflix. Anyway, after that post, 2 weeks later, she finds out that Gypsy, as I said, met with Kim K. So probably did, without a crystal ball, get scared that she could possibly be losing a story that could get her next docuseries. Is Katie Joy trying to replace Fancy, that allegedly promised the Blanchards to make a documentary, and here she is wanting to prove that she can get them a deal for a documentary because she is going mighty hard for Gypsy Rose, meaning in Gypsy's defense. But here she is now shading Fancy Macelli and basically making a fool of Fancy because Fancy said that she is a producer. And Katie Joy states she has no credentials. Katie Joy, where are your credentials? Because you have stated time and time again that you are a journalist, and you're even using that argument in your active defamation lawsuit in court. How do you go from withdrawing your support of a murderer, as you call Gypsy Rose, also stating that she is hiding money, or she didn't need to kill her mum, or even it's wrong to glorify murder? Oh, and what about when you were engaging with your audience after you denounced Gypsy, talking shit about her? What about this one, where you responded to this person? I was really emotional because her mom took resources from parents like me and kids like my son. They stole limited resources. She only wants to give back if it's filmed. What about this? I had a conversation with her and I shared that my son was medically fragile and shared our journey. She had no response. It was really strange. She doesn't seem to have empathy for kids that are actually sick. What about this? Yeah, that's gross. She isn't an influencer. It's too much. What made Gypsy and Kristy let this slide? I'm talking about everything that Without a Crystal Ball posted about Gypsy. They didn't cut her off. They rewarded her by giving her screenshots to debunk one of Gypsy's biggest critics. Screenshots that Ken saved from 2019. And Gypsy has been a cheerleader for Katie Joy, as you can see by this. Real talk at Katie Joy. Bring those real receipts. What? Without a Crystal Ball cannot be this desperate for friends that she would allow herself to be like a dog on a leash. But then she fell for Clark Swanson's bullshit, and that is why she got sued by Tati Westbrook. So hey, anything is possible. And from what I see in these YouTube streets, Kristy has some creators bending backwards and competing for first place or top position. So at the end of the day, only time will tell if Katie Joy is pitching a docuseries for them. If she does, what do you guys think the name would be? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Have a fantastic and productive week. Please be safe out there. Be kind to one another and don't forget, make good memories. Bye guys.